Given the raucous cacophony of voices online demanding that people choose sides in the issue between Israel and Palestine, or Israel and Islam, or truly what is now Israel versus the world, I will make no bones about the fact that I believe the Bible and I stand with Israel. Long before any of this made the news or there was an internet to discuss it upon, I knew what the Bible said about Israel in multiple locations. The Bible never describes Israel as a perfect people, just a chosen one. And if you've actually read the Bible, you will see over and over again that Israel, like virtually every other group of people on the planet, falls into a state of carnality and a state of being away, sin from God in multiple occasions, and they have to be brought back. Now, that's between Israel and God. It's truly between us and our God individually. But if anyone's going to try to put me in a corner, fine. You give me a choice between the secular world, the Islamic world, or Judeo-Christianity. It's not even close, because the two are inexorably tied together. Jesus said, salvation is of the Jews, speaking to the woman at the well. Period. End of sentence. Now, a long time ago, back when all of this was going on in Israel, the attacks, October 2023, I tried to share the Patriot Nurse with a lot of my audience, with a scripture from Acts, the New Testament. In the last days, God says, I will pour out my spirit upon all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions, and your old men will dream dreams. In those days, I will pour out my spirit even on my servants, men and women alike, and they will prophesy. Now, we could do a whole video series on the difference between the servants of God and the sons of God and God's chosen people. There's a part in the Bible where Jesus is asked about what the kingdom of heaven is like. And I would encourage everyone to go open their Bibles and read that. But the Patriot Nurse actually prophesied what's going on right now 5 years ago. Over 5 years ago, actually, truly. One of her favorite scriptures on her channel is to read, Blessed be the Lord my rock, who trains my hand for war and my fingers for battle. He is my steadfast love and my fortress, my stronghold and my deliverer, my shield, and he in whom I take refuge. Psalms 144, 1 and 2. You see, being Jewish, she has not labored under any delusion that she has to be on a war footing 110% of the time. Israel is described as a light unto the nations. Allah is a liar. Satan is a liar. Islam is devil worship. Israel is God's chosen and beloved people. Now, some of you might be asking, wait a minute, you said 5 years ago that the Patriot Nurse prophesied what was going on today. You see, there was something that happened in the Garden of Eden that she references here. The introduction of doubt. And if the internet has done any one thing, and done it well, for better or for worse, it has introduced this concept of putting out little blurbs that introduce doubt. You see, all the things that the serpent said to Eve could have fit in a 150-character tweet. Very simple, little subtle psychological operations tactics to introduce doubt. But let's listen to this from August. You ready for this? Of 2019. This is even before COVID. And this was the Patriot Nurse. Let's listen to her own words.
The times when the apex predators are looking most hungrily at the flock is when its members are limping by. Or they have a little snivel, or they look a little sick. Doubt is contagious. Doubt is contagious. Doubt is essentially a form of fear and moral cowardice. Pathological doubt. Not honest, intellectual, critical analysis. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about pathological doubt. pathological doubt that says my worldview and my thought process is going to be governed by whatever prevailing winds of cocktail hour politics are okay for the hour, versus rooting yourself and rooting your analysis and rooting your thoughts in the Word of God, immutable, unchanging, firmly fixed in heavens. So I would recommend, friends, that when you see this, and we're told about this, we're told about these times, it's written, when you see this, be prepared. The bitter waters are coming. Getting together with your friends, your like-minded friends, people with whom you share a worldview, a common worldview, and mutually pledging yourself to take care of each other and to defend each other. That's a pretty darn good start. And I talked about this in detail in my Patreon newsletter. If you'd like more, there's only so much I can say on YouTube. Censor platform, so I get.
I'll leave that there, and I'll give you the link to the rest of this video. But trust me, that was August of 2019. And even then, the Patriot Nurse had to put the vast majority of her content on Patreon. Now, it's been a more recent thing with this channel, but that's how you know you're over the target, when you start catching flack. And she has been catching flack on this platform for a lot longer than I have. So if you'd like to join her, join myself over Patreon. I'm not sure what her levels are, but I've got 4 different ones. It's where we have to go now. They said that in the Bible, in those times, that there would be a flight into the wilderness. That's where we are. That's the point we're at right now. This was a thumbnail that I had put together last October. War to herald the end of days has now begun. And here we are 2 years later, and people are literally denying what it says in the Bible in order to further this delusion, this doubt about, quote unquote, the Jews. Blame the Jews for everything. There's only 16 million. Only 16 million Jews in the entire world. 90% of them are either in the United States or Israel. I think it's actually over 90% to be truthful. 90% of them are either in the United States or Israel. Nowhere else in the world. The remaining few percent are just dotted all over the place. Germany, and there's some in very few in South America. I think Brazil and Argentina. But somehow the Jews are responsible for the problems of a planet that has 7 billion people on it. 7 billion. And the real story, you see, this is how you know that you're listening to the truth. The real truth will get banned on this platform unless you kind of skirt around it a little bit and direct people over to Patreon. She has been banned multiple times and been reinstated by the grace of God on this platform. She is a prophetess. It's kind of a word people don't like to use anymore, but she has, in multiple videos, I've been watching her for 10 or 12 years, has said things that have come true. On a channel that wasn't really designed. I mean, if you watched her for all these years, it was a lot of health advice, a lot of how to stay out of the hospital, prepping advice, content on the Constitution, on history. She's a nurse that served in a lot of different capacities. One of the great things that she did that made a huge difference in my life, I have a lifetime supply of this stuff in a closet somewhere, is this, and I know it seems like a small thing, but it's a big deal. It's a stuff called what she refers to as Angry Man oil, or Siang Pure oil. It's marketed as a cough suppressant and a topical analgesic, folks. If you have any issues with breathing for any reason whatsoever, any of you out there with, what's the technical term they use for snoring? Whatever that technical term is, where you keep waking yourself up in the middle of the night. Instead of using those machines, try a little bit of this, just on a Q-tip, just on the upper lip where you're breathing it in. Folks, it'll change your life. Absolutely change your life. She has multiple videos talking about, and this is something else a lot of people hate talking about. She says, look, There are certain people you should absolutely have in your survival group, your zombie apocalypse group, your end of the world group, whatever you want to call it. But there's also people you should not have. And this is one of the things that a lot of people take issue with the Jews about, is that they are exclusionary, even though it's biblical that we are to be exclusionary in our lives. See, this whole DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, is literally the opposite of what we're taught. And the DEI is literally the opposite of what's taught in the Bible. You are supposed to be picky and discriminatory. Yes, I said it. You are supposed to have a certain level of discernment and to be discriminating, to have discriminating taste, used to be a compliment. But it goes to this, and this is where I'm getting pretty close to what I'm going to have to put on Patreon. 1 Corinthians 13:11. When I was a child, I spake as a child, I understood as a child, I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. And the internet right now is designed for those with the mind of a child. The internet is not designed right now it's an influence operation for people who are simple-minded. And that's, I'm going to have to stop. There's something I really want to say right now, and I can't. Go listen to the Patriot Nurse. Seriously, go listen to Patriot Nurse. Go back through her videos, especially a lot of the pre-COVID ones. You will see prophecy. It's not even close to anyone who has ever read the Bible, who has been brought up in good, solid Christian teaching. It's not even close. Because it's real simple. How many of you out there, and I'll leave with this is kind of a clumsy analogy, but some of you guys, especially out there in the military, will understand this. How many of you know what shooting a back azimuth is? I'll say it again, shooting a back azimuth. Basically, it means that sometimes if you think you've lost your way or you don't know what direction to go, look where you came from. Look at exactly where you came from and shoot a back azimuth. And then you can understand that straight is the gate and narrow is the way that leads to salvation. Wide and broad is the path that leads to destruction. Anybody who's ever been on a land nav course in the military will know exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to be off by much, but if you let that deviation occur over a long period of time, you will be way, way, way off of your goal. Shoot a back azimuth, folks. If you don't know what that is, it's easy to find on the internet. Look it up. Spiritually, look where you came from. It'll tell you exactly the line that you need to stay on. And I will leave that there. But folks, I'll tell you what. If there was ever a definition of a prophetess in our time, in our era, it is the Patriot Nurse. Join her. She's easy to find. It's just those 3 words, the Patriot Nurse. The vast majority of my audience probably is already subscribed to her, but go join her over at Patreon. There's stuff over there as well. It's one of her favorites, so I'll read it again. Blessed be the Lord my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. He is my steadfast love and my fortress, my stronghold and my deliverer, my shield, and he in whom I take refuge. Psalm 144, 1 and 2. So once again, wartime survival advice. Israel is a light unto the nations. And believe me, right now, we need that. Join us, Patreon. God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for the Patriot Nurse. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.